What's up?
Let's go. Are we live? Oh, we're live. Okay. Hey guys, good morning, everybody. I'm here with my boxing brothers from USA Boxing, Coach Marc, Coach Goose, Coach Tim, and the amazing Sean Hicks from In Vivo, Long Live Boxing Podcast. So today we're just going to talk about checking on our peeps. And you might ask what that means, and I'm going to let these guys kind of take over a little bit. We had a situation, some situations where we had to be quarantined, and if it weren't for each other and a few people that checked on us, I think we might have, I don't know, gone a little crazy. But what do you say, Marc?
Did we go crazy? I think we did. I think we did go a little crazy. Yeah, no, it was a definitely interesting experience for that first camp we did in that first tournament. We got through it though, which is important.
We did. We did. What do
I
you
don't
think were
know.
some of the
It was
ways that we
definitely touch and go.
It was touch and go. So, what are some of the things that help sustain you? I mean, so the first time we were quarantined in Colorado, it was 14 days. And then the second time we were quarantined was in Spain. You had already gone home, thank God. And that was 10 days. And we'll talk
Yeah.
about that. But in Colorado, like, what are some of the things that you can talk about that sustained you during that time?
Well, I
Besides my
know
humor.
we had our little, yeah. You know, your when we did our chats when we couldn't hear anything you said was awesome. But yeah,
They're mean, Sean. They're mean. We would have
no,
FaceTime chats.
They're keeping it
yeah,
real.
we
They're
had
keeping
some
it
good
100.
FaceTime. Yeah, exactly. We had some great FaceTime, chats. We would check in every night, make sure that we seemed like we were, you know, all together. Our workout plans was great. We'd sit down every night and plan out our workouts for the day,
Yeah.
for the next day,
Yeah.
stuff like that, just to keep it set kind of business as usual and not like feel like we were just the prisoners.
Yeah, because it kind of felt like that at times. What about you,
Yeah,
Goose and Tim? What did y'all think about that first quarantine? And then we'll talk about Spain.
I mean, it's up. I was had to do it the longest. I think 14 days. But I
No,
mean,
we did.
we did the house party little app thing. That was the first time I had heard about that. So I mean, like being able to get on that, see each other's faces, play Uno and all these other games. I mean, that was cool. I mean, we did a good job at it. I swear, like within a 24-hour time frame, there was probably about 500 messages in our group chat. Man. Like, man, that my phone was just boo, 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 just blowing
That's true.
up. But I mean, it was cool. I mean, we did the best we could. You know what I'm saying? Just messaging each other, FaceTiming, and the WhatsApp video and stuff. But I mean, that made it a little more smoother. Hell.
Yeah, it definitely did. What about you, Tim? When we were in Colorado, like what was going through your mind, and what were some of the things that kept
Yeah,
you going?
what was nice was we were in a bubble with the other quarantine boxers. So being able to, leave the room, go directly outside or whatever, and work with the other bubbleies, right? The other people that were quarantined. That was the saving grace, and we'll move to Spain later,
Absolutely.
but that
Yeah.
was nice. Plus, since we were all quarantined, we're all in the bubble. Our little rule breaking sneak outs and getting a drink or two. But just really, for me, just
I
staying
don't
in
know what you're
contact,
talking
whether it
about,
was
Tim.
through
I have
house
no
party
idea what he's
chat.
talking about.
That was just me and myself.
Yeah, that must have been you and yourself.
So
That was his other quarantine group.
thank God the alcohol fairy, just left us alcohol on our doorstep. So
Yeah, that helped a
I
lot.
felt some love there. From Team USA and stuff. They dropped us off, little 12-pack and stuff, and it was kind of nice. So I think just having all them different channels to communicate was a lifesaver for sure. And we
Absolutely.
actually had fun making
Yeah,
fun of
and
you.
yeah, you hear this? You hear this, Sean? They had fun making fun of me.
Everybody has to have an outlet.
So
Yeah,
That
her,
was the best part.
I'm the outlet.
audio didn't work.
Yeah.
So Goose does the best, but her audio didn't work. So we would fill in the blanks of what she was saying.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, back in the days there was those Mad Lib little like games or whatever it was. You fill in the words. That's what they did. They did that. I would talk and they would just It was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. But I think that the first time that we were quarantined, it was sad. It was upsetting. We were disappointed because we felt that we had done the things that needed to be done. Not to be quarantined, but we were quarantined, so that happened and that was fine. We got through. I think the hardest one would have to have been in Spain. Mark had already gone home, but he is so awesome. Like his poor wife and family, because we keep these group chats going, and I know his phone was like going off all hours of the night since we were on such a different, time. But what do y'all think, Goose and Tim, as far as Spain? I mean, was that the killer?
Yeah, that was definitely worse than Colorado for sure. But again, I mean, we made the best of it with our group chats, and then we were all pretty much next door to one another. So I mean, I remember banging on each other's walls, freaking talking to the walls, just like banging on your wall, and then Coach Mays was next door to me, and I'm banging on his wall, and yeah, I mean that sucked, for the first couple of days, until we, got some true answers and stuff, and then that obviously changed the remainder of our quarantine.
Absolutely. And Tim, what do you think about the quarantine there in Spain? I mean, would you say that was the toughest one for you?
Oh, absolutely. Because I was the one with COVID, so even though my symptoms weren't really that bad, other than maybe 3 days of really being kind of tired and sleepy, but and then no smell, but really, it was really bad. I mean, a couple things that it was a nice environment. So you go out to the balcony, you can see the Mediterranean Sea. So that wasn't horrible, but not being able to work with boxers, we really, I felt, weren't informed of how they were doing as much as I would have liked. Only kind of when we asked or whatever, especially like the tournament and results and things like that. Some of it was streamed, but it just the connection there was lost. So we didn't have that team part of it like we did in the first quarantine. I mean, I don't want to say I couldn't have done it without you guys, because obviously would have survived, but it would have really sucked without just interaction with the other coaches.
Absolutely.
Just what we do, when we're together, and it's pretty much about having fun and boxing, right? Two things: having fun and boxing, and
absolutely,
to be able to still do that, and that helps, get through things for sure.
Absolutely. And I have to say, on a serious note, people don't realize what you go through mentally, emotionally, spiritually. For me, I mean, the guys will tell you, like, I broke down. It's like, it was tough because it was like the first time, at least we got to go outside. This time it was like we were going to stay in our rooms. We weren't able to go with our boxers, help train, get them ready for the tournament, be in the tournament. It was very emotional. And I'm not really an emotional person. Like, I mean, I am, but I don't cry a lot or whatever, but it was really tough. And I think that people don't realize that if they know somebody that's being quarantined for whatever, whether they have COVID or they were around someone that has COVID or whatever, you really got to check on your people because it's almost like being in jail. It's like, you know, you go through the day with nothing. Like nobody's calling you because they're living their lives and this and that. They don't check on you. But if it weren't for these guys, man, I don't know. I think it would have been. I don't know. It was really tough. It really was. Like I said, very emotional. I do have to say that my spirituality and my faith in God got a lot stronger because I was definitely talking to him a lot too. But they'll tell you, like, there were moments when I was just like, man, I'm falling my head off. This is just not good, you know? And of course, I don't want to call my husband or my kids and say, oh my God, you know, I can't do this, or it's a really tough time, because you don't want them to be worried or upset. But this is the whole reason why we're doing this, is because people have to check on their people. You know, if someone's on quarantine, call them, check their mental state, you know, check their emotional state, you know, ask them if they need anything. You know, we would drop stuff at each other's doors or whatever, just to make sure they were okay. I mean, there was one night we had a hall party. You know, we opened our doors and we had music going and we were peeping out the doors, you know, and we just had to do those things to get through.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, you weren't there. You weren't there. We were peeping our heads out.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And see,
wasn't there.
No, you weren't there. You weren't there, but you could hear it through the door.
Hey, she must have been in the hallway by herself partying.
Oh, was that night I was?
Yeah,
all that racket y'all
night,
heard, that was me. No, we had to really be creative though. Definitely. Sean, have you known anyone that has been in quarantine and maybe you're just like, they're in quarantine? Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've actually known people in quarantine, myself being included, but, you know, I was at home and I was with my family.
Yeah.
Because the doctor said basically, if you have somebody you suspect, you know, once you take a test, you have to have the mindset like you have the virus. So you have to quarantine yourself until you know for sure and get the result. So that's how we acted. And I didn't have anything close to what you guys deal with. You know, one thing I will say, because in my 9 to 5, I do travel as part of my job. You know, that's one thing that I do. And yeah, I didn't have to deal with COVID or the pandemic or being restricted of where I could go. But I mean, I've been in El Salvador when they're trying to overthrow the government. You know, I was in the hotel where they're trying to, the president was trying to take refuge in the hotel I was staying in.
Oh my gosh.
That was stressful.
Yeah.
I've been in the Philippines when they're having a typhoon. So my point is, those are situations where I couldn't control, and also I'm in an unfamiliar environment. So, you know, I felt helpless and I couldn't really call anybody because the time zones and everything. So it was very, like you said, emotional, and I felt, you know, lost, and I didn't have a lot of people around me to support me, so there was no one to confide in. It was horrible. So for what you guys went through, you know, along with what you guys are doing to support the team and the country, it's commendable. And yeah, I think people do need to be more aware of. There's more involved. It's not just your, you know, getting some personal time. You're needing to, you know, be restricted, and you know, it affects people differently. You know, it's tough.
It does. It does. How do y'all think it affected y'all? Like y'all knew that I was like a blithering idiot a few days. You know, how did it affect y'all emotionally or spiritually? What do y'all think? Has anything changed? I guess is the question. Are you a different person after going through that experience?
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a different person. Obviously, I will say this, I learned a lot more in this quarantine than I did the first one in Colorado. 100%. A lot. You know, not just about, you know, checking on one another, but just like protocols, regulations, and I mean, in general, like that's the big thing I think I learned from was just, you know, the unknowns and just researching. I think all of us, you know, we were sending messages, researching information about COVID and the restrictions, because I mean, it's different, you know, like our restrictions in the U.S. versus being in another country. You know, they're a little different, but I mean, I wouldn't say it changed me. I mean, the biggest thing, like I said, is just that I learned a lot more, and I mean, even though it sucked, I mean, we still have fun, man. I mean, we can't take that away. We did the best we could in those days that we were on quarantine, man. We had fun, you know, and once we got word, you know, from the front office that, you know, we were able to go out and go to the beach, the store, and I mean, it made it better. You know, it sucked obviously for Tim because he still had to, you know, wait it out. But hey, that Monday morning though, Tim is free. Hashtag Tim is free.
Yep, that's true. What do you think? What do y'all?
That was a good time.
Yes, and Tim and Mark. I mean, do you think that changed you? I mean, are you more cautious now, or what do you think it did for y'all?
Well, I mean, that's part of it. I think I understood. I didn't know what the hell quarantine was before this happened. So now I get why they do it, and I understand the rules behind it now, which is I think more important because you can control a lot more when you understand why they're quarantining you, and how they can quarantine you. So you can control it better. Obviously, you can limit. I don't think we were doing a good job of limiting exposure before we get tested. We should have, you know, stuff we learned from.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, little things like that will help us next time and going forward. You know, and I've been telling my bosses because, you know, I'm sending them to the nationals. They're gonna have to do the same thing. You know, and they're gonna have to learn that if they don't follow the rules, it's gonna affect them that they get disqualified. You know, or it's
Absolutely.
even worse than quarantine in their mind. You know. So yeah, I think we learned a lot from it. I think that's the most important. And I wasn't there for the second one, but I could, you know, just reading the messages every day, you could see all the emotions come through. Like I could see the frustration boil into anger, you know, and then turn it into kind of acceptance and funny. You guys laughing it now. You know, after a while, it became more like they understood you know, where you were at in the camp or in the tournament, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, it's a process. I think everybody experienced it for the first time, and I think we'll be more than ready for the next time. I hope. Anyways,
there's not gonna be a next time.
No next time. No next time.
No next time.
So
Sam, what about you?
That's right. No next time.
That's that for me the biggest thing learned was the situation that, you know, for me, yeah, COVID, I had to be quarantined, but for everybody else, it could have been avoided. You guys did not have to be quarantined, and the rules changed. And I mean, I don't know if that's with other organizations, but it does seem like there's really no standard rule. It's more just, you know, whatever this person thinks, and so I think that all can be avoided ahead of time, mapping out the different scenarios and what the plan is for it. So I just learned that it could be avoided. You know, only I should have been the only one quarantined. But I do got to give a shout out to Rob, our nutritionist, who 100% took care of us. Made sure we're comfortable, had everything we needed. And this was somebody that, you know, tested negative, wasn't exposed to me. So he could have been there with the team in France. And although he wasn't happy about it, he made the best of it. And then ended up being, I think, the best person that could have stayed behind. So
absolutely, he was definitely an angel. I mean, he made sure we had everything we needed. He kept us up. I mean, Rob Skinner, he was amazing. He was our saint out there. Absolutely. For me, you know, like I said before, it was very emotional. I was angry. All these different feelings went through, but you know, I made some weights out of, you know, some water bottles, and I was exercising and listening to music and stuff like that. And then, you know, but I'm gonna ask y'all the same question, and that I'm gonna say is that you know, would I do it again? Am I gonna go back to camp? Am I gonna be working with the athletes? Absolutely. You know, was it just a bad moment? Was it just something that happened? Yes, but you know, we love our athletes, we love the team, we love the staff, and I'll absolutely do it again. You know, and yes, Mark, like you said, you know, we're going to nationals with our team, and we're gonna know now what to tell them, how they need to stay in the bubble, because we have a better understanding now. So I think everything happens for a reason, even though we didn't like it. but we weren't defeated. You know, we're going to keep going. Would y'all agree that this is just something that we had to go through and that we're just going to keep going? Or some of y'all thinking, you know, like, man, I don't want to do that again?
Man, I definitely
It
don't
don't
want
kill
to
you, it makes you
go through
stronger,
it again.
right? So,
Yeah. I mean, obviously, we want to be with the athletes, you know, whether it's the training camp, the competition, or whatever. But I mean, I think now, I mean, after the second quarantine, I mean, this was more of an eye opener, and we learned a lot. You know, we all did, and I think next time, if something happens, whatever, you know, we're more knowledgeable. You know, as far as, you know, some of us getting picked or not picked, but getting put on quarantine, you know what I'm saying, according to, you know, to the staff and everything. But I mean, I would have loved to have been with the athletes and in out there in Paris. You know, I was excited, just first time traveling to Paris, so I was looking forward to that. But yeah, I mean, I hope this never happens, but if it does, I mean, shoot, you just got to roll with the punches, man. And obviously, I think we have the system, you know, to be able to make it through, regardless if it's 10 days, 14 days, whatever.
We
But
do.
yeah, I mean, I hope it doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? It sucks, and especially for the boxers, you know, they're the ones in there grinding and having to make weight and being limited to what they can eat, drink. So, you know, at the end of the day, it really sucks for them, you know, if they get quarantined and stuff. You know?
Absolutely.
They're limited to what they can do as far as training. And obviously, if it runs, you know, through competition, things like that, then, you know, they're SOL. They're gonna have to sit out.
Mm-hmm. Very true. So, Tim, would you go through this again, Mark, if need be?
Yeah, I would. We got a lot of time invested in the team, in the program. So, you know, this thing right here, just 10 days, doesn't sway me. I mean, I do have some things that, you know, I think we all do to get off our chest with USA Boxing, but it's not enough to, you know, keep me from continuing, you know, this cycle. And I feel all of us are important to the boxers, every one of us. And
absolutely,
one of us missing, you know, in the back of their minds, like, what's up, what's going on. So I think we have a good, solid core of coaches, and it's consistency, and the boxers expect us there each time. They get a little bit, I think, from each individual person. You know, some boxers with other coaches more than others, but as a group, I think it's solid. I think we got one of the best teams in the world, especially the women's team. And I think we got the best coaching core in the world. So no, I'm not it. I would do it again.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm going to continue.
Mark?
Yeah, I think the whole point. I mean, if we don't learn from it, then, you know, we're not doing our job. We got to get better every time. This was the first tournament, you know, post COVID. So
yeah,
I think obviously there was some bumps in the road, but if we don't get better with it, we gotta adapt and adjust, just like we tell our boxers to. You know, we gotta get better at it. Staff, you know, the whole staff's got to get better at dealing with it. We can't make the same mistakes twice. Just everything we've told our boxers to do in these things, we have to do. So we have to adapt and get better. And yeah, I mean, obviously we're gonna be there for them. And I'm pretty sure, you know, as we go, like, we should not be making the same mistakes as we did. So, you know, I think we'll be good. You never know what happens, but, you know, I'm confident. I think we're good.
Absolutely. And I think, God forbid this happen again, but we're just gonna have to do like I don't know, like some kind of show on YouTube, like our daily routine on quarantine. Like, you know, it's like we'll have to make some money off of that. Sheesh. It would definitely be entertaining, that's for sure. Definitely. Sean, do you have any questions for the guys?
Wrong chat, Christine.
Well, one thing that I'll say on outside looking in, I mean, just the fact that you are there and you're able to talk about it now, and glass half full. You guys made it through it. You knew that you had each other's backs, and I think it's going to make. Well, I know it's going to make the team stronger and better. And I love what Tim said about being there for the fighter, and I love what Coach Joe said about the challenges that the fighters have to deal with. I didn't even think about that. I mean, I never think about cutting weight anyway, but the fact they were having to cut weight and watch what they eat and be on quarantine, that's like double hell. So all those things that you guys are talking about and sharing those things, it makes you appreciate each other more. 'Cause I'm appreciating you guys more, hearing what you guys went through. So those stories, yeah, they're tough to tell, but they're important to hear.
Yeah, definitely. And that was the whole point. I just want people to kind of like get an idea and check on their people. That's it. Because we were all going through different things. These guys and I, we were close before, but I think we're even closer now. It really brought us together because we had to be there for each other and lean on each other, and we're family. When our family could be there, we're family. And it's just a bond that can't be broken. That's for sure. We cuss and fight and yell and scream at each other and laugh and everything else. But at the end of the day, they've got my back and I've got theirs. So in the big scheme of it all, it was a very positive thing. Very positive.
Right. Yeah.
Definitely. Any last words, guys? Jeez, what are you laughing at? Oh my gosh, these guys. So any last words? Come on.
I mean,
see, no, maybe.
I'm just happy we made it. I remember, like those last couple of days, it was like, like countdown, like 2 days in a wake up, 1 day in a wake up, and then it's like, I remember that morning, the day we left, we're all packing up and everything, and then Tim's free, we go to the beach.
Yes.
And last time, Tim goes out there and gets in the water, and then we head back to the hotel and call the taxis, and then we're driving down to Valencia, and then we get there to the train station. We're like, all right, first leg complete.
Yeah.
Get on the train, and that was cool. That was my first time on a train, and that thing was going like 150 miles an hour.
I thought it was like 200 miles an hour, right, Tim? Or what was
like
it?
150 or something.
200 kilometers an hour.
Oh, whatever that is.
200 kilometers per hour.
Okay. Yeah.
But I mean, then we get to Madrid, and the hotel was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Went down to the restaurant, had some good food, and then the next day, we load up, head to the airport, and I got to fly business class for the first time. I had some hiccups there with flying back from Paris. I got upgraded my seat to business class. I had used 20,000 points. I paid $65 for an $8,000 seat. So I was happy about that. But then the quarantine thing hit, and I was like, damn, dude, I'm not going to be able to fly business class, and then it just worked out, man. When we got to the airport in Madrid, I talked to the guy. I showed him my retirement ID, and he was like, all right. And
he
we have the USA boxing pins. So them things are like gold. So I gave him one, and I gave the other lady some, and he's just like, hey, once you get to the gate, check in, and so they can upgrade you to business class. And I was like, what? I mean, it was amazing.
I was with the peasants, by the way.
Listen,
I was a peasant.
I mean, dude, it was a 10.5-hour flight, dude, and I'm just in business class chilling. And I actually got one of the other coaches, Coach Mays. He was retired.
Yeah.
Army guy, and I told him, man, just go up there, show your ID, and he got hooked up too. I think there's only like 5 of us in business class, but
yeah,
it was cool, man. But I look forward to seeing the team again. We actually go into camp the end of the month, the 28th of November to the 14th of December in Chula Vista in San Diego. So excited for sure to regroup back with the team and and just get back to training. I think a couple of more countries are going to come in, so we can get some good solid sparring, and I think we'll have one more camp in December, and then that's pretty much it for the rest of the year. And then January back at it. I mean,
I'm going to be wrapped in Reynolds wrap during that camp if I go to part of it. I'm going to nationals too, so I'm definitely wrapping myself up.
Listen, y'all need to be careful with the nationals too, though. I mean,
oh, trust me, we are. We're bubble for real. Yeah. Tim, any last words?
Yeah, just the 55 days in camp, 24 days in quarantine. But we got through it. It was nice coming home. That's a long time away from the family. It's there was a few moments where I was wondering whether it was worth it or not, but just being in contact back home plus the coaches there, it just helped to pull through it. I'm looking forward to everybody getting COVID so that we don't have to even worry about it, right?
No, God forbid. No, no. I never had the flu. I'm not getting COVID either. No.
So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to is where this team goes. What are they going to do? What kind of medals? Who's going to rise up? We saw Andrea, get best female boxer. And she deserved every minute
gold
of
medals.
It. 2 gold medals, yeah. So
there and
so
in
top, right?
Spain. Yes, that girl's on fire. Sean, any last words? And please plug your podcast. Let us know what you're doing, what you're talking about, where we can find you.
Sure. It was an honor to be on with you guys. It's tough that you had to deal with it, but again, you guys had each other's backs, and you guys are stronger for it. Looking forward to see what you guys are going to do as a team, going forward, and excited about the U.S. boxing team, and excited about what those opportunities mean. And as far as me, in Vivo podcast for longliveboxing.com, we support the local boxing scene, and we also cover the events that are all around the world, including USA boxing. So again, honored to be a part of the show, and I hope it doesn't happen again. But if it does, you guys have each other.
Absolutely. No, I just thank y'all so much for coming on. I just want to talk about and bring some awareness about what was going on. I mean, during the time, it seemed like it was going on forever, but now it's over. We're home, and it's good, and we're going to gear up to get back to it. But we do have the greatest team in the world, like Tim said. Please keep your eyes on all of the athletes, the male and female, on the team, and watch them as they get ready to qualify and make it to the Olympics. Absolutely. So I appreciate y'all, and I will talk to y'all soon. We lost Mark, but that's okay. He probably go deal with his kids. Talk to y'all later. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Take it easy, guys.